Let's start with the refuge prayer, and for immeasurables, put your hands together at the heart with strong, good intention, altruistic motivation at the words respect, and praying to renew our refuge and bodhicitta before we do the teachings. Bhutadamara aitere laitama bhavache ajendala aishare padavadruve endabu tadamara aitere laitama bhavache ajendala aishare padavadruve endabu tadamara aitere laitama bhavache ajendala aishare padavadruve. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion of those near and far. May all living beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion, those near and far. May all beings have happiness and cause of happiness. May they be free from suffering and a cause of suffering. May they never part from happiness that knows no suffering. May they dwell in equanimity, free from attachment, aversion, those near and far. According to the intelligence and predisposition of the yatandandharama agrela common goals. So we are continuing the teaching on the practice of Vajrapani Bhutadamara, which has a preliminary, main practice, and then conclusion. The preliminary practice itself has a common preliminary and uncommon. A common preliminary is you always review the four foundation of practice of Dharma, what we call the four common foundations. First is meditating briefly on the shortcomings and sufferings of samsara and sentient beings, and then develop some kind of melancholic feeling of sadness for the world, and therefore we have a very compassionate start. And nevertheless we rejoice our precious human rebirth and reflect on the law of impermanence and death, and also law of causes and conditions, or causes or laws, or law of consequences rather. People use the word karma, they think it's Eastern something, but law of consequences, we are all affected by. You're all law of consequences, your study, your profession, your lack of them, or whatever it is. So you don't have to even believe in the law of karma, because you're already experiencing the result of things. So those four things are commonly required to become familiarized. Even to make people to enter the Buddhist path, they have to have those, so that they realize that we as a deluded sentient beings are wandering in samsara under the cloud of our own afflictions and bad habits. And until we learn to change those, we continue to have this deluded negative perception of self and our past, or people, or others, and we can never get out of that deluded perception. So in order, realizing that our perceptions are caused by our afflictions and our bad habits, then one is now take refuge. So that's what begins the uncommon preliminary practice, consists of the taking refuge and generation of bodhicitta. So that's the uncommon preliminary. Uncommon in the sense person has to become Buddhist and a Mahayanist. You have to be a Buddhist in general and Mahayanist in particular. So it's quite uncommon. Uncommon in the sense there are not many people who, in terms of population, there's so few Buddhists. Buddhists are not even 7% of the world population. So quite uncommon to meet a Buddhist on the road. When you do meet them, they're really happy to meet one. So that shows how uncommon Buddhists are. Buddhists are those people, Buddhists with beliefs. These days, some people think the Buddhists can be Buddhists without without beliefs. They think it's just a way of life and it's kind of philosophy without any spirituality. That is the misunderstanding of Buddhism. So there are no Buddhism without beliefs. If people are thinking they are practicing Buddhism without belief, then they are basically just intellectualists, and they are not within. They haven't refuge. They have no refuge, let alone bodhicitta. If they have refuge in bodhicitta, they have beliefs. They believe in the law of karma, the existence of past lives, present life, future life, and causes and consequences. What we do, what we did in the past, we're experiencing in this life, whether we like it or not. These are results of our past. And the great care we give to now, how to change things now, is so that we believe the consequences will be inevitably met in the future. So therefore we're taking precaution, what thoughts to drop, what thoughts to adopt, and that's why they are uncommon in the sense generational bodhicitta. And then we move to do the practice of accumulation of merit and accumulation of wisdom. So accumulation merit is to achieve the Rupakaya. But the hindrance in reaching Rupakaya, we have lots of afflictive obscurations, karmic obscurations. So therefore we need to remove those by doing the accumulation merit, by making offerings and paying, doing the sevenfold prayers. So making those 8 offerings and seven limb prayers is to accumulation merit in order to remove those afflictive obscurations so that we become eligible to achieve the Rupakaya. Now the second accumulation is accumulation or stock of merit, stock of wisdom. So that's what we're starting. So last night we finished the teachings on what I've just outlined, summarized there. Now tonight teaching will be the accumulation of the stocks of wisdom. This is really what constitutes the wisdom is one who knows his or her nature of simultaneously born nature of the mind. But we should meditate on this simultaneous nature of one's own mind, which is very light and empty. So therefore, main meditation is to meditate on the meritorious practice of wisdom of emptiness. So why we need to meditate on emptiness is we have to de-identify ourself as name, as nationality, as a gender, or our color, or creed, or all these things. When people are so attached to me, without realizing that we are not aggregate, we are not body, we are not skin, we are not flesh, we are not anything. We are. These are something else. These are called skin and flesh. But by the time you strip all of this, there's no self to be found. So the accumulation of stock of wisdom constitute meditation on emptiness of self, and thereby reciting the mantra Om Shunyata Jnana Vajra Swabhava Atma Kohang as you begin the sadhana. So you recite that mantra that actually is at the beginning on the very text Om Shunyata Jnana Vajra Swabhava Atma Kohang. So that's why we need to purify the gross body to which we have mistakenly identified ourselves. So we need to wash away the dirt, thinking we are body. It's very dirty. That is the very dirtiest of all dirtiest, because all other dirt can be washed in water. But this dirt of thinking that I am my body, I'm my gender, I'm my profession, I'm my success, this is the dirt. So we need to purify, cleanse the dirt of these impurities. And then on the field of emptiness, then we need to sow the seed of becoming the deity. So that's why we recite the mantra Om Shunyata Jana Vajra Sobhava Atma Kohang. That means that all phenomena, be it animate and inanimate, from matter to conscious, all of these things do not truly exist. Nothing is independently exists. Everything merely imputed. Nothing is truly and independently, innately existent. And so therefore you dissolve everything into the luminosity of emptiness. So the meaning of Om Shunyata Jana Vajra Sobhava Atma Kohang is that I am by nature, the adamantine transcendental wisdom of emptiness. So you are empty of self. So therefore you dissolve into emptiness, and so all the wrong conception of grasping to name and gender and color and so on, as these kind of wrong conceptions are completely destroyed by this thunderbolt of wisdom, and therefore you now reclaim your entitylessness. So what I call de-identification of yourself and re-identification of yourself as emptiness. I am, because ahang, atma koham is I am by nature the adamantine transcendental wisdom of emptiness. So with this in mind, you try to stay a little while in meditating on the dissolution of your psychophysical person, your gross body, your name, your habits, everything vanishes. This is called meditation on Dharma Dhatu or Dharmakaya, because Dharmakaya is a wisdom body and Rupakaya is a form body. So now it is from the wisdom body we need to manifest. So here, the reason for that is in the Paramitayana, you have to accumulate merit for 3 uncountable eons. In Vajrayana is a resultant Mahayana. So we, within these short few minutes, we recite the mantra of emptiness. We dissolve our notion of self into emptiness. And then from that instantaneously, with the transcendental wisdom, due to the skillful dispensation of the mantrayana practices, within that very moment, you instantly dissolve. Because you know you are truly, you are totally empty of any inherent existence whatsoever. You're just merely labeled after a color or something like that, a name, which are not us, because we're named after someone. Say if you're named after your grandfather, you're not your grandfather, are you? So who are you? You're not your grandfather, but yet you're named after him. Or you may be named after your past generations sort of profession, carpenter, So are you doing carpentry? Yeah. So the names are merely labels. So here, knowing that everything's merely labeled and not grasping them be truly existing, you meditate on the emptiness. So that is the most important requirement for Vajrayana deity yoga, is you have to realize, do the meditation on emptiness. Yeah, so that's what we call here technically accumulation of transcendental wisdom, which is the cause of realizing Dharmakaya. Now we come to the main practice. The main practice itself, please, I gather you all have the copy of the outline I sent. So this is divided into 2 parts, sessional yoga and post-meditational yoga. Post-sessional yoga. Sessional yoga means the practices you do during the practice itself. So the sessional yoga is now you enter into meditation to become the deity, to become the form aspect of emptiness, which we call deity. So what is the deity? Deity of wisdom, a wisdom deity. So we are meditating on a wisdom deity, not a kind of monolithic, free-floating spirit of a god of some sort. We are not that. We are we are what we call transcendental wisdom deity. So wisdom deity. So what you do is this meditation is divided into quite a few sections. Yeah, 4 stages. There's 4 stages of deity yoga meditation, and this is we're going to go through that. All phenomena and of samsara and nirvana. So all phenomena meaning anything between matter and consciousness, all conditioned phenomena of samsara and nirvana are by nature become unobjectified emptiness, clear light, luminosity similar to space. So all phenomena vanish tracelessly. And you too dissolve your ordinary sense of physical person and name. You dissolve all your suffering, all your fears, anxiety, all are illusory, and they are all dissolve into emptiness. Out of that state of emptiness, then you create what you call here is out of that state of emptiness arises a dark blue syllable hung. So that's why what you have here in the first stage is approaching to become the deity. So that is the so approaching to become the deity. So this one has 2 parts. First is creation of the protective chakra from a lotus and moon disk. So here exactly from that state of emptiness, out of the state of emptiness arises a dark blue syllable hung. Dark blue syllable hung is the seed syllable or bija mantra of Vajrapani. The seed syllable hung is a seed syllable of many deities, like other deities as well. Light is issued from this hung, syllable hung. I think there is a drawing of the syllable hung there in your handout. And then the syllable hung itself mysteriously transformed into large and spacious Vajra palace. The Vajra palace means it's a huge dome made out of Vajra. Vajra is indestructible by apocalyptic cyclone or fire or nothing can destroy it because it is all indestructible. So Vajra palace, you're completely enclosed in a protected palace. So in the center of that palace, is a syllable Hri, from which arise multicolored 8-petal lotus. Upon the lotus from syllable A arises clear and radiant mundus. So you have this. You have syllable hung that transform into a Vajra palace, and then inside that there is a syllable Hri, and that becomes a multicolored lotus flower that represents relative bodhicitta. Then on top of that is a mundus that represents ultimate bodhicitta. Upon the moon disk from the dark syllable hung, so we remember dark syllable hung is the seed syllable of Vajrapani, arises a slightly open 5-pronged black Vajra. So this is 5-prong means one in the middle, one on each the 4 cardinal directions. So 5-pronged open means it's not closed like normal Vajras. Common peaceful Vajras are closed and wrathful Vajras are open. So open prong, black Vajra marked by a syllable hung in its center. So that kind of this visualization that what you have from the dharmata of emptiness is first abhisambodhi. Abhisambodhi meaning perfect enlightenment. There are 5 stages of enlightenment, 5 abhisambodhi we call it, before you become the deity. First is the emptiness, abhisambodhi of the dharmata of emptiness. So that's everything dissolved into emptiness. Second abhisambodhi is appearance of a multicolored lotus flower and a mundus from the seed syllables. And so the third abhisambodhi is a visualization of seed syllable hung standing on top of the moon disk and a lotus on the bed of emptiness. Now the fourth fourth abhisambodhi is upon the mundus, from the dark syllable hung, which arises slightly open 5-pronged black Vajra marked by syllable hung at center. That's the fourth abhisambodhi, is hand implements of Vajrapani with 5 prongs standing upright. And then the fifth Abhisambodhi is complete transformation of all the above into the deity. So therefore it says, light rays shine from the Vajra, make offering to the noble ones, purifies and heals all diseases and malignant spirits, sins and obscurations, obstacles, external, internal, secret obstacles of sentient beings. And having done that, then all the rays of light absorb back into the five-pronged Vajra, standing on top of the lotus and moon disk, and then it completely transforms into yourself as a Vajrapani. So that is what we call the first stage of approaching to become the deity. These five Abhisambodhi represent the five wisdoms as well, but we won't go into these five wisdoms. But these five wisdoms correspond to this mirror-like wisdom, wisdom of equality, wisdom of discrimination, wisdom of accomplishment, wisdom of dharmadhatu. All of these five Abhisambodhi respectively correspond all of those. So from that manifest now in the form of Sri Vajrapani. And that becoming of yourself as Vajrapani takes you to the second stage. From the complete transformation of this, now this is called, whereby you are now describing the iconographical form of yourself. So you are now, your form as a form of the deity Vajrapani is all celestial, okay? Not tangible, not fleshy, bubbly body like ordinary body are. You're all celestial, all natural, of light, very light. You can appear as all these descriptions, but all nature of light, So that's why it's very important. So it says, from the complete transformation of this, I appear as Sri Vajrapani. Shri means glorious. Vajrapani means holder of Vajra in the hand. Pani means in the hand. Pani is locative of in the hand. And what is in the hand? Vajra. Vajrapani means Vajra in the hand. Tibetan word for Vajrapani is Chak Na Dorje. Chak is hand, Na is locative, Dorje is Vajra. So Vajra in hand, Vajrapani. Bhutadamara is a B-H-U-T-A. Bhuta is a demon. Damara means subduer or killer or slayer. So subduer of demons. Vajrapani Bhutadamara means subduer of Vajrapani, who is the subduer of demons. Demons. So demons are external, internal. Subduer of demons. He is translated here. Subduer of demons and the king of wrathful ones. So that's the kind of a synonym of Vajrapani, Lord of power, Lord of king of wrathful ones. My body is dark blue in color. Now, when we say my body, don't think of a solid, tangible body. Body is the form of the appearance is the body, but not a tangible body with skin and flesh and carcass and lungs. Not like that. It's all nature of light. This is a celestial being. My body is dark blue. Dark blue. Vajrapani is dark blue in color to symbolize his wrath to the ego, to the grasp. The ego is the cause of all suffering. So Vajrapani is a subduer of the inner demon. Dark syllable color, one face and four arms. He's armed with four. Held aloft in my right hand, he's holding in the upper right hand is blue Vajra, slightly open prongs we were mentioning. And so this means that he has totally conquered the five afflictions, developed the five wisdoms, remember? Now his manifestation of five wisdom. We went through the five Abhisambodhis. Now his very hand insignia is symbolizing why he's holding five-pronged Vajra. He has completely crushed the demon, the wrong views of the five aggregates, and not mistakenly see them as self. They're transforming all of the five aggregates as a wisdom. And so therefore his hand implements held in the five-pronged Vajra it symbolizes what he has accomplished. With the threatening gesture of my forefinger, my upper left, first this upper left arm grasp a Vajra noose. So Vajra noose, while one is in a threatening gesture, one is holding a Vajra noose. Vajra noose means a rope. Rope is to catch the ego or demon who is escaping, and so you are there to, Vajrapani is there to catch and trap your suffering and the causes. The two man hands, thus the first two hands, the two man hands at my heart perform the demon subduing gesture. The demon subduing gesture is this. So you interlock the two ring fingers like this, and you press your middle and little finger by the thumb like this, and so the top, your right hand is top, left hand is down, two ring fingers interlock like this, okay? So this is called demon subduing gesture. So that's what it says here. With the threatening gesture, my two main hands are at my heart perform the demon subduing mudra. Mudra means gesture, okay? My fangs are bad, so you're very wrathful, and therefore your fangs are bad. That symbolizes that you are going to sort of bite the ego, bite the demon of self-grasping, and bad. And my tongue is curled upward. Your red tongue is vibrating and curled inside and wrathful. My three round eyes. My three round red eyes glare fierce. This very fearful, while my orange upraised eyebrows and head are all upraised to symbolize that you are ever increasing your ability to accomplish the Buddha activities. And your head is adorned by the five dry skulls. Why you're wearing the five dry skulls? You're dark blue in color, and your dry skulls are white color. So skull is white color, very colorful, because the background body is dark blue, and then you have the white dry skulls. This symbolizes you're completely deprived of grasping of ego. So your ego has finished, and wear a necklace of 50 fresh skulls. Fresh skulls means freshly severed heads. Okay, so blood dripping and eyes and ears and nose still there. So that kind of 50 of them. That symbolize you have your incredible compassion towards this incessant and compassion towards sentient beings, and then it says, adorned by 8 great nagas. So here I have put in the handout the chart, which shows the 8 great nagas. The 8 great nagas are, because Vajrapani Bhutadamara in particular, he doesn't wear other crowns like out of jewelry. All of the crown and earring, necklace, girdle, sash and anklets, and all of them are the 8 great nagas. So we have given you the 8 great nagas, or snakes actually, the names of the 8 snakes and the meaning of each of the snakes and the color of them, symbol of them, and location. So please look at the chart. That's why I prepared that for you, so that you can study that, so that all the snakes, for instance, in the crown inside the upraised orange hairs is this incredible blue snake, curling around the hairs, and that symbolized the crown. That symbolized the perfection of generosity, and therefore, and also symbolized the triumphant nature of yourself, or as Vajrapani, over all the demons, and particularly subterranean creatures like the nagas. Yeah. So likewise, you have your earrings are not normal earrings. The earrings are 2 tiny snakes, yellow snakes, both yellow snakes on both ears. This symbolizes perfection of listening and study, and yellow in color, and so on. So I won't go into that, because if I try to explain all of that, it'd take a long time. So adorned by 8 great nagas. The meaning that adorned by 8 great nagas is that every one of those ornaments usually symbolize perfection of generosity, or right speech, or right actions, and so on. So you are now conqueror. You are supremacy over all nagas. So that's why lots of people's life are harmed by naga spirits. the subterranean creatures, because there are certain karma we have created that attracts the harm to be, we are vulnerable from the nagas. So then people develop a lot of leg diseases, a lot of swelling of the leg and lower body diseases because they have displeased and upset the nagas. So Vajrapani practice is very good to cure many illnesses and prevent those kind of illnesses. So that's why adorned by 8 great nagas. I wear the lower garment of a tiger skin, so you're wearing tiger skin to symbolize even the most ferocious animals are frightened by your Vajrapani's appearance, and a cap of blue silk. I'm standing in the midst of burning flames of transcendental wisdom. My right leg bent inwards, and my outside left leg trample on the demon Aparajita. So in that stance, you are standing, dancing on top of the Aparajita. Aparajita, Jita means victory. Aparajita means the by others. So means you cannot be conquered by others. Aparajita, who lies face downwards and 3 eyes and 4 hands. So Aparajita looks just like oneself, Vajrapani. He's got also 4 arms and 3 eyes, and he's got all the kind of skill to harm other sentient beings. But because you are indomitable, Aparajita means indomitable. You cannot be conquered by others. 4 hands. My right hand holds his right hand. Aparajita's right hand holds a drum because he drums distraction to people. And you can see some people get distracted by something and they completely got cursed by the distraction. So like he beats the drum. And he left and another hand holds her curved blade, while left hand holds skull cup and a trident. So these are the 4 hand implements: the drum, the curved blade, and the skull cup and trident. These are the 4 hand implements that the Maras harm sentient beings. Yeah. He wears a lower garment of a tiger skin, and yellow hair is knotted on top of his head. So visualizing that far, that takes you to the second stage. The first stage. First stage is the stage of approaching to become the deity. Basically, you have become the deity. Now the second stage is called near approach of the deity, near approaching the deity, meaning you are now nearer to becoming the deity. How? On the forehead is white syllable Om. So you visualize seed syllable Om. Seed syllable Om is not a studied thing. It's seed syllable, the nature, light within light. His blue body is dark blue, but within that dark blue, there's amazing seed syllable Om, white in color radiating. Why? That symbolize you as a Vajrapani is represent the Vairochana, the whole enlightened body of all the Buddhas, the essence of all the Buddhas of 3 times. At my throat is red syllable A. That is the red syllable A represent the essence of the holy speech of all the Buddhas. The Amitabha, red syllable A represent Amitabha. A represent Amitabha. Om represent Vairochana. At my heart is blue syllable Hung represent Akshobhya, blue color. So white Om, red A, throat, blue Hung. All sadhanas go through that. So that visualizing Om on the forehead, white color, which is Vairochana, and the purity of holy speech. Red A at the throat represent Amitabha, purity of speech. Blue syllable Hung at the heart represent the purity of mind and Akshobhya. So these 3, visualizing these 3 on top of your forehead, throat, and heart is the second stage, near approach of becoming the deity. Now we move to the third stage. Third stage is that light rays shine forth from the Hung. So from the seed syllable Hung in your heart, light rays shine out. What does it do? Inviting from his abode. So this is the abode of the wisdom beings, wisdom being, Dharmakaya, Dharmadhatu. This is the wisdom abode. And, O Lord of the wrathful ones, subdued. You are invoking Vajrapani. The invoker is Samaya Sattva, symbolic being is Vajrapani. You're just symbolic just yet because you're only on the second stage. And you're inviting the wisdom being, Jnana Sattva, in order to go to the next level. So you are invoking wisdom being. How are you invoking? As I say, light rays shine from the hung. You have dhyana, concentration, light rays shining. Inviting from his abode, Lord wrath for subdued demons, Sri Vajrapani Bhutadamara, surrounded by all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas in the form of wisdom being Vajrapani. And that's the visualization. The mantra is Om Vajra Samaja. Mudra is touching your two fists, the right one on the left heart, and then Om Vajra Samaja. Snap the finger and cross the Om Vajra Samaja. So basically, you unveil the wisdom being before you. So now you are as a symbolic being Vajrapani practitioner. Vajrapani sees the wisdom being Vajrapani. As soon as they appear, what do? You make the 8 offerings. Yeah, you make the 8 offerings. So the 8 offerings are same as one we explained yesterday. Om Bhutadamara Saparivara Om Vaja Aragam Ahung. And so you do the mantra, and you do the mudra, and you do the visualization. So after you have done that, then you cause the wisdom being to enter into you. So this is called, you will do the 4 gestures. Ja is a hook gesture, rope, hung is a rope gesture, and avam is a chain gesture, bell is a ho is a bell gesture. So ja, hung, Vam Ho causes the fusion of the wisdom being into this symbolic Samaya Sattva. So Samaya Sattva and the Jnana Sattva become one. Becoming one. And that's accomplished the 3rd stage. 3rd stage is becoming the Deity. Now you are Vajrapani. Only one more stage for you to go before you finish the practice is that again, it says the word again. So again is the even though you have become Vajrapani, but you need to be endorsed, you need to be enthroned and anointed by the other 4 Buddhas, you remember? So therefore, in order to receive the anointment, encouragement, or coronation of yourself as a Vajrapani, again light rays shine from the hung, seeds of hung, within my heart, invoking the 5 Tathagatas. 5 Tathagatas, Tathagata Akshobhya, Tathagata Ratnasambhava, Tathagata Amitabha, Tathagata Amoghasiddhi, Tathagata Vairochana. These 5 Buddha Tathagatas are all invoked before, so as they can officiate you, anoint you as the fully enlightened Vajrapani. So for that reason, so you therefore do the 4th stage, invocation of empowerment deities through mantra, reciting Om Vajra Samanja, through mudra, doing the hand gesture, through dhyana, light rays shining from your heart, it unveils, and all the 5 Buddha officials are there to do the official anointment of you. So so as soon as they appear, what is the procedure of anointing you as a Vajrapani? As soon as they appear through your invocation mudra, through mantra, mudra, dhyana, then you again make them offering. You don't just ask them to do the job. You first show your courtesy. So that's why the 3rd offering here is on Panchakula Saparivare Om Vaja Argam. You same 8 offerings, but to whom you're offering is the Panchakula. Pancha means 5, Kula means family. So what are the 5 families? Vajra family, yeah? Lotus family, yeah? Lotus family, jewel family, wheel family, and sword family. So these are the Panchakulas. Panchakula is, they are named after Vajra. Vajra is Akshobhya, blue color, yeah. Then the jewel family is Ratnasambhava, yeah. Wheel family is Amoghasiddhi, Vairochana, and the lotus family is Amitabha, and sword family is Amoghasiddhi. So the Panchakula is, you are making this offering to all the 5 Buddhas, because all the 5 Buddhas are there from the different kulas. Kula means family, Pancha means 5 families. And you're making offering to each of the 5. And why? I request all the Tathagatas bestow upon me their consecration. Each of the 5 Buddhas have consecration to you. Vajra will give you Vajra consecration, and each of them has their own consecration. So when the Akshobhya gives Vajra consecration, your hatred is purified, and so on. And each of the 5 afflictions are purified by receiving this empowerment. And so what happens is, as a result of you making these 5 offerings and making the supplication, because you are actually formally requesting the 5 Tathagatas to bestow upon you the empowerment, the anointment, the encouragement, and the coronation. Lots of people are qualified. They finish the degree, and every day, if we look at samsarically speaking, they study 6 years or 5 years or 4 years, whatever undergraduate degree they did, and they have got the degree, but they still haven't got the license, So they have to go and apply the license, don't they? Likewise, you as a Vajrapani, Vajrapani is already full-fledged, but you're seeking the approval and anointment of the Buddha. So for that, you made a application, so to speak, and then they come before you and respond to you positively, saying, Tathagata reply. The Tathagatas are the Akshobhya Tathagata. Tathagata Akshobhya. Yeah? Tathagata Ratna Sambhava. Tathagata Amitabha. Tathagata Amoghasiddhi. Tathagata Vairocana. So all the Tathagatas reply, just as the Blessed One. So just as Blessed One, the Shakyamuni Buddha, historic Buddha, when he was born in Lumbini, bathed by the gods. Not that he needs to be bathed, but the Indra and Brahma and all the gods appeared and brought holy water poured onto him to welcome him, really, to anoint him, really. I mean, we always wash, don't we? Before we go out or do something like that. Here, you have now come out for the sake of all saints. You appear as a Vajrapani. You are now being welcomed at the time of his own birth with the pure water of celestial realms. They pour the holy water, they play music and so on. In the same way, we, the 5 Tathagatas, bestow this very consecration to your birth as a Vajrapani to anoint you. So they say, Om Sarva Tathagata. So Om means homage, hail, basically. Sarva Tathagata means all the Tathagatas. All the Tathagatas, there's no Tathagatas are excluded within the 5 Tathagatas. So all the Tathagatas, Sarva Tathagatas, Abhishekata meaning profound empowerment. Samaye Shriya Hung. Samaya means is the holy pledge. Shri means glorious. The glorious holy pledge of all the Tathagatas to give you this perfect empowerment. Hung means bless. So saying, imagine the Tathagatas, particularly Akshobhya. Akshobhya is the presiding Tathagata, because you belong to Akshobhya. Akshobhya Buddha pours the water over you. The other 4 Buddhas rings the bell and strew flowers and whatnot to officiate your enthronement as a fully enlightened Vajrapani. So the text says, as I speak, means as we as a practitioner of Vajrapani speak, the Tathagatas, the 5 Tathagatas bestow consecration by pouring water from the vase. Yeah, Akshobhya pours water onto you, and others ring the bell, bring the incense and play various celestial musics and so on. As that's happening, your body is completely inside out washed. Not only you're washed, your body is completely inundated by nectar. This nectar is just indescribable. You cannot see them in any way. It's just the liquid bodhicitta. We like to develop bodhicitta so much that you are now washed and bathed and completely saturated by the incredible cleansing nectar. Just mere drop, one drop it touches anywhere, the whole body becomes incredibly, indescribably blessed. So if you are internally inundated by this nectar, you're completely flooded by the nectar to the extent of filling your whole body, all your karma and obscurations and obstacle, inner, outer, and secret obstacles, all cleansed. And the nectar then not only fills your whole body, but it now overflows from your crown chakra, and instantly that crown overflowing water, nectar, transforms into tiny akshobhya on top of your head. So that is called adorning the Lord of the family, receiving the empowerment, making the request, and then armoring through Vajrapani. So now you have become Vajrapani. Now, next is, before you go to the mantras, now you need to armor. You need to bind the armor. Bind the armor means you have to do the hand gesture of a demon subduing gesture. So you do the Vajrapani hand gesture, this one, yeah, there one, and then you touch your heart, your throat, your forehead, and crown. This is an ascending order, yeah. Your heart, throat, forehead, and crown. These 4 chakras by this demon subduing gesture. Because remember, people have lots of emotions. The heart is a very dangerous place. You resort to some emotions, you are finished. And speech is a very dangerous door. And a lot of people slip the words from the mouth because demon of the bad mouthing. So we need to also lock that door. And also we need to we need a lot of thoughts in the skull, We need to also heal that. And then the crown. So that's why you say, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape. And while reciting mantra, perform the gesture, and so the interlocking. They say, perform the mudra by interlocking the 2 ring fingers. That's like this. The right one is like this, and left one down. And other thumb, the ring finger, little finger and middle finger are pressed by the thumbs. And so therefore this is called the actual Vajrapani gesture. So Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape. It says here, the description is very clearly written. Perform the mudra by interlocking the 2 ring fingers, and on each hand bind inward the 4 little fingers, and pressing the middle finger against the palm with the knuckle of the thumb. So look at the Vajrapani Tanka, or you like the Om Vajra, Hung Vajra, Hung Vajra. You and this, and then you snap the finger. Then you snap the finger, okay? Sometimes you can do that when you are a little bit something in your heart or the mind. You just do Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, Hung Vajrape, So then now you are ready to do the meditation, Semzim meditation. The Semzim meditation is to hold your mind onto the divine pride. You have to hold your mind. It says, hold the mind for a while in meditation upon the naturalness of one's own body and appearance. Naturalness means your appearance is so natural. It's not concocted, not human-made. It's a natural. And your body is part of the nature of light. You're not sort of made out of mud or bronze or copper or rubber or anything like that. You're all nature of light. So you're light, but within the light there's incredible artistic manifestation, the appearance of yourself as Vajrapani. And this appearance of a really dark blue, short, sort of limbed deity called Vajrapani, who has 4 arms and really orange hairs and 3 eyes and bad fangs and vibrating tongue and very sharp fangs, and wearing all these amazing snakes on your crown and ears, necklace and sash and girdle and bracelets is also snakes, and anklets also snakes. You're completely covered in snakes. Just imagine if you have 1 snake around your neck, Here you have how many snakes? You don't have just 8 snakes, okay? because some of them are 2, like the bracelets are 2, anklets are 2, so 8 plus 10 and 12 already. 12 already. So the 12 snakes. Your body is completely covered in 12 snakes, and you need to now develop this incredible appearance. Not only you're dark blue and short, chubby, and wearing tiger skin and standing on top of the Mara that is completely overwhelmed by your domination. You are indomitable by anything, and you are holding this Vajra fiercely. Also, you have the Vajra noose. Vajra is to threaten, and the noose is you will hurl and catch if they run. And so you're not letting anybody unaccounted for. You're going to subdue them and liberate them from their darkness. And so therefore you are very fearsome looking towards all the obstacles, and they could not near you. You're completely standing in midst of burning flames of transcendental wisdom fire, if you look at the tank of Vajrapani, like this one, I have got the back of my book, so this is Vajrapani. So is standing in a very, very dark, and the lotus and the moon disk and the Lord Aparajita, and standing upright on top of the demon, on the demon, and so that is you're standing upright and very, very fierceful. This fire represents wisdom. Wisdom incinerates the fuel of ignorance. Okay, so one's whole appearance of a Vajrapani Bhutadamara, subduer of demons. So therefore, you pause there and do the meditation on the called Semzen. First is you do a divine pride for a few minutes. You just say, I am fully enlightened Vajrapani, devoid of any faults and flaws, but embodiment of all the qualities of wisdom, compassion, and power. I am Vajrapani, indomitable one. So this mind, you are not ordinary person. You are fully enlightened embodiment of the power of all the Buddha's wisdom. So in this with this sense of identity, you try to hold this strong divine pride. I am Vajrapani. I am not afraid of anything. I have all the qualities. I am devoid of any flaws. I am the embodiment of Buddha, the Dharma, the Sangha, everything. So you develop this very strong divine pride and do the divine pride meditation for a while. After that, then you develop the general form of your appearance, that you are blue, you're four-armed, and two-legged, and standing on the one Mara, and so on. That's the general sort of overall. Then you specifically focus on the 3 eyes and nose and very reddish interior of nostrils and mouth, vibrating tongue, very sharp kind of fangs, bared. Your 3 eyes are very round and red, and you have eyebrows and hairs are all orange and yellow colors upraised. Your body is dark blue in color. You're completely draped in many snakes, all hissing and curling and about to attack, so that you symbolize you're completely fearlessly covered in snakes. You could dominate all spirit world, including the Nagas. You will completely conquer them. So your whole appearance, you should have this specific appearance of the color, the nature, the appearance, the mood, and the compassion. You look very regressive and fearful, but you're very peaceful inside out of compassion. It's a fierce compassion that you're manifesting. So with this in mind, you need to hold your mind sometimes on the middle eye, that is dark in the center, reddish in the tinge with the white eyes, orange upraised, eyebrows, and the same goes the right and left eyes, and pointy nose, very red, radiant red nostrils, as well as a very beautiful white teeth, but very dark blue skin, dark blue skin and white teeth with the fangs bared and vibrating tongue and a very wrathful look. And even the snakes, the snakes on the ears are yellow in color, the other snakes on the necklace and sash. You just focus all of that try to, all the appearance very, very vivid and clear, but nothing is real or tangible or solid. And this goes from the center eye all the way to the transcendental wisdom flames of fire, not to mention the demon aparajita, which is trampled by you, which is subjugated by you, and you're dancing on top of it. You're not doing with the hard way, you're just still elegantly dancing on it indomitably. And there's an amazing kind of you are standing on the lotus and moon disk, you are inside this incredible Vajra palace that no external harm can penetrate through in, and no, because you won't have any illness, because you don't have a gross physical body, you're all celestial body. Your mind is completely free of any affliction, therefore, because you are embodiment of wisdom. So with this mind, you pause there in quietness. It says, hold your mind for a while in meditation upon the naturalness of one's own body and appearance of Sri Vajrapani Bhutadamara. Meditate on the divine pride of being Vajrapani at the 13th stage of Bodhisattvahood. So you're dwelling in that highest stage of Vajradharahood. And then it says, concentrate on the eye, center eye, the ornaments, and so on, respectively. Starting on the center eye, then the right and left eye, then the nose, then the mouth, then the teeth, then the tongue, and then the ears, and then the earring, the snakes, the snakes. These snakes are not drawings of snakes. These snakes are live snakes. These are celestial snakes. You can almost see them hissing and about to venomously attack sentient beings, because these snakes, such as your earrings, yellow snakes, tiny 2 yellow snakes and earrings. Meaning your ears is guarded. You no longer will hear everything any wrong way, but you hear everything as mantra. So the ears will do that. And as well as necklace, you have a very long, almost like a python, red python on your red necklace. Very big one. Means your speech is completely guarded from saying anything wrong to or against anyone, because you are completely now sort of paralyzed from saying anything harsh by this red snake on your necklace. Not that you will, but symbolize that you have perfected the right speech. And so on. So likewise, you have this sash from your top of your left shoulder, go down to the right of the right armpit, comes a long white snake, like a sash, Sash, you wear like a sash of a snake between that to symbolize your right action. You will never do anything wrong, anything violent, anything aggressive, anything hurtful, anything divisive. You are completely going to make things peaceful. Even though you look wrathful, you're going to do very, very peaceful. And your waistline, your girdle or your belt is a yellow snake, Vasuki, and means you have great self-discipline. So much so that you will not drop your pants, as symbolized. Of course, Vajrapani is wearing the tiger skin skirt. You will never drop because you have this strong self-discipline with yellow snake. And then you have in your other snakes as well as in anklets and wristlets and so on to symbolize. So you should think of them very clear. All are very clear, but nature of light and emptiness. So like a rainbow, like a reflection of a moon in the water. You can see the moon, but it's not moon. Likewise, you're very looking like solid Vajrapani, but you're not solid. You're nature of light. You're just a hologram. And just to remind you that everything in the world is an illusion. They do not really exist as they appear. As you yourself are meditating on the form of the deity that is there very clear, but yet does not truly exist or truly exist as it is. So to symbolize all of that, you semzin. Sem means mind. Zin means whole. Hold your mind, without any of the 5 impediments of meditation. The laziness, for instance. If you're lazy, you sit there, you close your eyes as you are doing the same thing, but you're not doing anything active. Your just mind is drifting. Not that kind of laziness. You're very, very diligently recognizing. So if you have no laziness, you have diligence, okay? If you have no forgetfulness, you have mindfulness, to symbolize all of the deity's appearance, what they represent. And then if you have no dullness, you're very, very wakeful. If you're not scattered, you're very, very focused. So this, when we talk about the freedom from the impediments of laziness, forgetfulness, dullness, agitation, over-application, non-application, all of these usual impediments or hindrances of meditation are completely annihilated by the application of the 8 antidotes. Faith, determination, joyous effort, and pliancy overcomes laziness. And forgetfulness is overcome by mindfulness. And dullness and agitation is overcome by introspection. Non-application is overcome by application. Over-application is overcome by equanimity. So with this in mind, your understanding of calm abiding meditation, its techniques, how to keep your mind focused and hold it without losing the grip, with the help of application of the 8 antidotes, you remedy the 5 hindrances. So you should stay very present and hold your mind one-pointedly with the stillness of the posture, with the sincerity of the motivation of Bodhisattva in the form of Vajrapani for the benefit of all sentient beings. Incredible compassion and fierce compassion to subdue the unruly sentient beings. So you know why you're appearing in the wrathful form. Why? You're not doing wrathful form for the sake of some mundane reasons. You're there to frighten the suffering and their causes or out of all sentient beings, because otherwise they just wouldn't change. And so therefore your whole wrathful appearance has a serene purpose. So therefore your stillness and sincerity and your serenity of all the concentration should be mobilized. You can almost add a kind of a boost of awareness in your eyes, ears, every single hair pulse. Your whole posture is a manifestation of 32 major and 80 minor marks of fully enlightened one to liberate anybody who may behold your appearance. So with that kind of sense of pride, you should stay very present in meditation. Indomitable indeed, because when you're no longer swayed or moved or shaken by any of the 5 hindrances. Why you are standing on top of Mara when you couldn't get rid of your inner Mara? So the Mara aparajita that is under your feet is a symbol that you have conquered these 5 hindrances of meditation, 5 afflictions, 5 karmic afflictions, and that like, by these very embodiment qualities of who you are, the resultant Vajrapani, dwelling on the 13th stage in order to fulfill the wishes and desires of helpless, unruly sentient beings. So with this in mind, Vajrapani is the Vajrapani, means Vajra. What is the Vajra? Vajra is not a thunderbolt. Vajra is mind. You know your mind. You have your mind in your hand. So you're completely aware, you're cognizant, and you're recognizing, You not only recognize your mind in its emptiness and clarity and luminosity, but you recognize that everything is a reflection of the luminosity of your mind. Whether it's object or subject or animals, all are nothing but your mere figment of your imaginations. That is the Vajra. That is the Vajra that you're holding. Your Vajra is not trying to threaten anybody, hurt anybody. You're holding the Vajra so that you have realized the intrinsic nature of all things. Because mind is indestructible. It couldn't be drowned in water. It couldn't be burned in fire. So that you have mind in your hand. Visible Vajra is just a symbol that Vajrayana practitioners know the nature of the mind. This invisible Vajra is symbolized by the invisible nature of the mind to the people who are not uninitiated, is made visible in form of five-pronged Vajra. But actually, Vajra in hand means mind in hand. You have got your mind in your hand, which is clear, empty, and luminosity. Everything that you see or know are mere imputation of that very clarity and empty nature of your mind. There isn't anything in the object that are not the opinion of the subjective mind. That is why you're hoisting the Vajra in your hand. Vajra in hand and the deities on the walls is not to decorate the wall. That they are just visual dharma, how to control and subdue your mind. Buddha said, Sava papa akaranam, sachit upayadanam, so the meaning, you should not do any bad, negative deeds. You should do all that is wholesome. And then you should purify your mind, And this is my teaching. Edam Buddhanam Sasanam, they say. This is the teachings of the Buddha. So you can quote something like that, sutric, but in Vajrapani, in Vajrayana, you hold the Vajra in your hand. That's it. You have now conquered. You have stopped holding wrong views, wrong conceptions. You don't see the form, feeling, and perception as self or real or permanent. And that is you are subduing. You are not doing those. You're not doing those things. You instead have conquered the wrong conceptions and transformed them into correct conceptions of the five wisdoms, which is represented by the five-pronged Vajra. Yeah? So Vajra in hand is one who knows the mind, who knows the nature of the mind. So with this mind, your left hand that holding the lasso is just to correspond with that. The lasso is to hurl, to throw the rope, to catch the unruly sentient beings, as the lasso represents mindfulness of rope. So therefore, Vajrayana's depiction of deities in form of color and mood and stance and holding this, holding that, all is a visual dharma, what the Buddha taught in the sutras. That non-initiate could not understand, They need somebody else who's literate to read that to them. But if you have a picture of a deity described to you like this, then you can say, wow, how the Vajrayanis, tantric masters, have revealed this kind of secret wisdom of teaching of the Buddha in this beautiful art appearance of deities like Vajrapani. So, the one who has got Vajra in hand is one who has realized the nature of the mind. So, therefore, when you're meditating in that stage, of Semzi meditation, you've got to hold your mind. You can't say, I can't see my color. You say, I'm blue, and I'm this, I'm that, I have four arms, and so on. So all the appearance there, but it's empty. And that is what you know. All things you see, he says, they do, she doesn't. All these things do not really exist as they appear to you. So be careful. What you see is not what it actually is. What people say about something is not actually what it is. It's their own deluded interpretation of it. as most are deluded projection of our mind. Most things you hear or see, what people say, are also deluded interpretation. So hence you're always holding the Vajra in hand to know that appearances are not real. Appearances are emptiness. Form is emptiness. Emptiness is form. Form is no other than emptiness. Emptiness no other than form. This is Vajrayana's skillful dispensation of the artistic appearance of the deities, teaching you the really core teaching of prajna paramita, perfection of wisdom. So therefore, for you to reach this level of meditation is very important. So you need to sit there and meditate. Meditate on that appearance. And don't try to put too strenuous effort. Then it becomes a poison of samadhi. Even you visualize very clear and very light and very amazing, indescribable, you shouldn't get too attached to that thing. Even your meditation isn't going very well, you get tired and you're slipping your mind away and not able to concentrate. And don't get worried about that. This too is an illusion, should you think like that. Okay? Then you're holding a Vajra in your hand indeed. So in this way, you try to do the hold the mind as a Vajra in the right hand is a reminder to do that. So this is why the understanding of the deity yoga needs great teachings. Empowerment alone, it won't do anything. If anyone out there are collector of empowerment, don't do any practice, what are you trying to do? You have to understand sadhana like Vajrapani and then appreciate and at least take one or two sadhanas in your practice and then try to use it to boost your mind, to understand the Dharma, to understand nature of the mind. What are the artistic, visual Dharma that Vajrayana is doing that exoteric Buddhism or conservative Buddhism, monastic Buddhism doesn't. So with this in mind, we need to understand the Buddhist thought and the teachings and apply it as a medicine from wrong views and wrong karma and bad thoughts. And therefore, you truly have now have mindfulness. You are able to hold. Holding a Vajra in your hand is holding your mind, understanding the nature of the mind, purify the mind, how deluded mind is not the nature of the mind, it is just conditioned by the karma and obscuration. Because the karma and obscuration can be deconditioned, you can really decondition things. You can decommission them. Right now we have commissioned karma and affliction. So you have to decommission them by not thinking you are George or Peter or Penny or Mary, but you are a Vajrapani. One is fully enlightened, one who has no faults, one who has no flaws, one who sees all sentient beings' flaw as an object of compassion and therefore treat them with great care and gentleness to help sentient beings, not to chastise them. Although the Vajrapani looks very wrathful, but doesn't mean you should resort to aggression and violence. You should instead subdue them in the most peaceful manner without ever hurling the Vajra, okay? But because if you hurl the Vajra, you will lose your mind. So always hold the Vajra in your hand, which means mind in your hand, Vajrapani. So with this understanding, one needs to do the Semzi meditation, combining calm body meditation, and hold your mind by focusing from the center eye to the other two eyes, to the nose, to the mouth, to the whole face, to the ears, and orange upraised hairs, and round eyes, and then the neck, and then the limbs, and then the Vajra in the hand, and lasso in the left hand, and two other men hands holding the demon subduing gesture. Your slightly sort of short legs are stranding in a very graceful manner, dancing on top of the aparajita who has just completely lost control. who is holding the trident and the lasso and all that, have just lost the grip of that. He just give up, he's surrendering to symbol that you're completely overwhelmed, afflictions, emotions, and you are completely standing in a blazing inferno of transcendental wisdom fire. So stay your mind within this, just see, or and survey, and yet clear but empty but still vivid, and therefore see all phenomena are by nature like this. Nothing is real, everything is imagination. So therefore whole teaching becomes so unrevealed through this practice when you do the Senzin meditation. It's not just a mantra recitation, it's not just visualize deity, it is a visualization of the wisdom of emptiness. So get enchanted and completely uplifted by this awareness of your Senzin meditation. Don't do the sadhana simply to read from page to page quickly as a kind of a daily chore. There's no benefit. Spend quality time on practice like this, and then try to understand the teachings of renunciation, of bodhicitta, and the right view. All the Vajrapani's appearance is to renounce the wrong ways, You do this with bodhicitta motivation for the sake of all sentient beings, and with this right view of emptiness of self. So Vajrayana Deity Yoga is an incredible encapsulated practices of renunciation, bodhicitta, and right view all together in a visual form of the wisdom of the Dharma, which we call deity. Deity is no deity unless the wisdom. So wisdom deity. With this understanding, would you not have the intelligence to keep yourself contained, pick up a discipline to learn the sadhana, not just receive, but actually do the practices. To the extent you can see how much of the teachings is encapsulated in one short sadhana like this, how as a result of that you can really drop away, renounce your bad habits, wrong views, or your obsessiveness, your compulsiveness, your judgmentalness, your criticalness of yourself, or your pedantic way of doing things. All of this is now subdued by this 8 nagas that represent this beautiful ornamentation. So with this understanding, one needs to use the Vajrayana sadhana to accomplish. Vajrayana sadhana is to accomplish. Sadhana means of accomplishment. Accomplishing what? Accomplishing the wisdom, bodhicitta, and right view, and renunciation, and of course with all the practice that goes with that. So we will have 15 minutes break now. After that, we will come to the mantra recitation and the last part of the practice. Thank you, everyone. Hello, welcome back, everyone. Now, after having done the Senzin meditation, holding on the divine pride of oneself being the resultant Vajrapani, as well as meditating on the form aspect of the iconographical symbol of in which you appear, not just as a visual, but remembering what those qualities you represent. And thus you hold your mind in stay the union of calm abiding and special insight meditation. So that is not something you finish off there while maintaining in that. Then now you're going to do the recitation of the mantra. So recitation of the mantra yoga is like when you have reached the state of Buddhahood. Like Buddha achieved the enlightenment, then he taught the Dharma, didn't he? Likewise, after you have achieved the state of Vajrapanihood, now you're going to teach the Dharma. So therefore, your recitation of Dharma recitation of the mantra is what we call two types of recitation. The recitation mantra, the concentration during the mantra recitation, and the meaning of the mantra, as well as you have two types of recitation: the verbal recitation and diamond recitation. So with this, first of all, when you recite the mantra, you bless your mala. It says, brilliant light rays resembling a garland of fire. Now, this is yourself as a Vajrapani, as three-tiered Vajrapani, what we call Samaya Sattva, Jnana Sattva, and Samadhi Sattva. The Samaya Sattva is the Vajrapani, and Jnana Sattva is the seed syllable Hung, and Samadhi Sattva is droplet in the seed syllable Hung. So this is called three-tiered sattvas. So with this also represent three kayas: Nirmanakaya, Sambhavakaya, and Dharmakaya. The whole appearance of yourself as Vajrapani is Nirmanakaya. The seed syllable Hung represent the Sambhogakaya, and the droplet on top of syllable Hung is the Dhammakaya. So while maintaining that sense of pride and clearness, then when you engage in mantra recitation, you bless your mala, and then you recite the mantra. First do the verbal recitation mantra. You recite the mantra while doing the concentration. Brilliant light rays resembling a garland of fire, shine for infinitely from the mantra rosary. Your mantra is syllable Hung. The rosary is Hung Vajra Pe, Om Bhutadamara, Buddha Adipati, Aksho Bekri, Dhanasrava Buddha, Preta Pishachana, Sadaya Hung Pe. So that is the actual mantra that is circling in your heart, So that's what it describes. Mantra rosy of the syllable surrounding syllable Hung, resting upon the sun disk in your my heart. So you have to have sun disk upon which seed syllable Hung stand. Light rays pervade my entire body. So when you're reciting mantra, all the mantra radiates and vibrates and resonates, and then all the light rays pervading your body, entire body is filled by light, and making it luminous. Your body is already luminous, but it's becoming even more luminous, and it burns away all and purify all illnesses that are within the body, as well as plagues, malignant spirits, doubt, fear, anxiety, ill will of others, malice of others, judgment of others, all such things, as well as any other obstacles, maledictions, witchcraft, mischief caused by all spirits, all sentient beings, friends, foes, new strangers, all of those things. Imagine your body is issuing all of these things. As a result, it burns, incinerate, purify all of this. By the power of the compassion of yourself as a Vajrapani, whose embodiment of growthful compassion, tiny miniature Vajrapanis, when it says countless tiny miniature Vajrapani, growthful ones, similar as appearing oneself, issue out from every hair pause, and then it goes and reach out and eject and reject and annihilate and evict all evil things from your thoughts, the feelings, the emotions, the habits, or whatever they are. All are expelled. The blessings, compassion, power of all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas converge upon yourself. So these are all happy. Like your heart chakra is the epicenter. From there it issues all these light rays. Now it is magnetizing, converging upon yourself all the Buddha's power, compassion, wisdom, in the form of light rays and in images of tiny miniature Vajrapanis are absorbing back, and they're all absorbed in the syllable Hung. So with that concentration, then you recite the mantra Hung Vajra Pe. Hung Vajra Pe, Hung Vajra Pe, Hung Vajra Pe. And so whether your mala is made out of bodhi seeds, or whether your mala is made of Rudraksha, or made out of crystal, or pearl, or whatever it is. Some people tend to use pearl and crystal for white, peaceful practices, and they tend to use amber and things like that for enriching and increasing practices. They tend to use red coral for powerful practice. They tend to use bone or skull, made out of skull, for also practice. Anyway, whatever material mala you have, you should then recite the mantra Hung Vajrape, and Om Buddha Dhammar Buddha Adipati Hevajra Sarva Buddha Perta Pihisana Sadaya Hung Pe. So you should regard your left thumb as a kind of hook, and then you therefore invoking the worldly and transcendental worldly siddhis to be magnetized into you. That's the purpose of that. And then you should samadhi or concentration, that when you're reciting mantra, that as we just read before, that it is seed syllable home from your heart goes to radiate many brilliant rays of light, and that seed syllable hung in the 5 parts, goes out, and then it enables you to have the mind of wisdom, discerning the non-duality of subject-object, seed syllable hung, and in your heart, say, radiating from that this knowledge and message, it fills your body, it goes out the world, heals and subdue all, makes honor enlightened ones. The mantra rosary is Hung Vajrape, circling clockwise, yeah? And then outside that, the long mantra is the outer ring, outer mandala, yeah? And you may visualize the color of the rays of light shining from your heart, either white, if you want white, peaceful blessing, yellow if it's enrichment blessing, red if it's for power, or wrathful, the dark blue. So you can vary the color of the light rays radiating from the mantra rosaries. So in this way, you stay very present, and without distracting, you recite the mantra Hung Vajrape, Om Buddha Dhammara Buddha Adipati Ashubha Kriridana Sarva Buddha Prita Pishasana Sadaya Hung Pe. So in this way, you recite the mantra as many as your commitment or your time will allow you to practice the recitation mantra. So the meaning of the mantra is Om Buddha Dhammara. Buddha Dhammara is a mantra has come from the Chakra Samvara and Hevajra. So it's mainly a mantra to subdue demons. The demons are external, terrestrial, subterranean, and extraterrestrial. These are 3 types of demons, from outside, above, and on the ground, or below. These kind of demons. There are many types of external, internal, secret demons. So Dhammara means someone who subdues all those 3 types of Buddha Dhammara, and then Buddha Dhammara, Buddha Dhammara. Then when you say Buddha Adipati means Lord of the demons. Buddha is demon. Adipati means Lord of demons. Om Hung Vajrapanjara Buddha Dhammara Buddha Adipati. Buddha Adipati means Lord of the demons. Akshobhya Kiritana means Akshobhya. Kiritana means crowned by Akshobhya, isn't it? So because Vajrapani is Lord Vajrapani belongs to Akshobhya, so he's crowned by Akshobhya. Buddha Adipati Akshobhya Kritina. Then Sarava means all. Bhuta means demons. Preta means hungry ghosts. Pishacha means cannibals. Sadaya means accomplish, so means subdue them. You become completely overwhelm them. And so you are these are causative expression of sadaya. Sadaya. So you need to accomplish. What do you have to sadaya? Hung, which means the transcendental wisdom dharma dhatu. You will call the syllable hung the wisdom of dharma dhatu. Yeah. So what really you're saying is you are basically you're calling all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, and there you're imploring their mind stream great compassion. Because if you call John, 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 John will come to you because you're calling John. When you're calling all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas, a wrathful form like that, then you're also calling all of them to bring all the common and excellent siddhis, accomplishment. So common siddhis and worldly siddhis. Like short life, you become long life. Short temper become very patient. And people who have a lot of discontentment have contentment. People who have a lot of self-criticism have no longer self-criticism, a lot of self-love and gentle. These are common siddhis. If you have changed these things in you, if you want these things to change in you, you should practice the sadhana with a lot of concentration, devotion. Vajrapani Buddha, Adipati, Ashvakritan, Sravan Buddha, Pertha Patience, Sadaya, Hung, Pe. So that's really your calling on the Buddha within you. It's just like that when you call the name of a goddess or Buddhas or Yidam or Deity, they all say, oh, he's calling me. Just like you want to call John among a crowd, there's so many people, but when you call John, John straight away thinks, he's calling me. And he's going to turn, who's calling, what for, and so on. Likewise, when you call Vajrapani Manita, Hung Vajrapani Bhutadamara, Buddha Adipati, Ashvakritan, Sravan Buddha, Pertha Patience, Hung Pe, you are actually calling. Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have vowed to be present. As soon as they hear you, because Buddhas are omniscient, as soon as you call for them, you will get. So if you're fearful or unsure or something, straight away sit down and recite the Hung Vajrapani, Buddha Dhammara, Buddha Adipati, Asham Kiridana. If you can't recite the whole long mantra, just say Hung Vajrapani, Hung Vajrapani, Hung. Just watch your breath, slowly calm down, Hung Vajrapani. If you're not appropriate to recite verbally out loud, just mentally recite the mantra. So you can actually quickly go and quell those obstacles, demons. Therefore, reciting the mantra is calling all the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas. So that is the mantra recitation. After you do the mantra recitation, then you do the what we call the diamond recitation. To do the diamond recitation, first of all, you do the exhalation of residual breath or stale breath. So you do the ninefold exhalation. Ninefold exhalation, you sit upright, sit in the correct meditation posture, exhale through the left nostril. So when you exhale to the left nostril, you block the right nostril like this, and then slowly inhale in order to make a good, meaningful exhalation, yeah? And likewise, reverse that, and then inhale from the right nostril to fill the lungs to exhale. Likewise, inhale from both nostrils to exhale from both nostrils. This is getting rid of desirous demons. They're getting rid of hatred and angry demons. Getting rid of ignorance, stupidity demons. So with this mind, you exhale from the left, right, both, left, right, both, left, right, both, 9 times, and to clear your airways from any kind of negativities. So that is that is very, very, it's a cleansing. It's a cleansing your airways that are contained with polluted with some stale breath, if you like, stale breath. And then what you do is you do the diamond recitation. The diamond recitation is visualize that the breath while you're inhaling, you should think of white color, oxygen, white color, love and blessings, beautiful bodhicitta, kindness and virtue of all beings from the ordinary to the Buddhas. When you inhale, it comes like a white Om, and mentally say Om, and say mentally count Om. And as the oxygen goes in your lungs and you permeates and slowly hold the breath, when you say hold the breath, mentally say Ah, and imagine the whole interior body is reddens by the white oxygen went into your lung. It becomes part of your nervous system and the blood. It reddens your whole interior. Mentally say Ah. Then as you say Hung, as the Hung resonates, as you exhale, when you say the hung, imagine all the exhalation that goes out of you, because om and and hung. When you say hung, dark blue color leaves with all the dense and tense energies leaves. And so in this way you count that as one. Inside om, inhale om, retain red color, exhale blue hung 2. Inhale om, retain red color, exhale hung. Not just the om and hung are bright, white, red, blue, but each time the oxygen also that comes into you from outside through the nostrils all the way in the body all become white and light. As soon as it goes into your blood system, nervous system, and you say mentally, it reddens your whole, liquefies your whole body, and it changes the very blood and its quality. Red blood cells increase, if you like, whatever the new things, the red light. And when you say exhale, say blue hung, and then release the tense and dense and worries and fears, anxiety, uptightness, and all the fears and anxieties and worries and sadness or doubts, all of those, just breathe out hung, count at 3. In this way, try to do this. This is called, every round you recite om, inhale, hold, exhale, hung 1, next one 3, next one 4, and you do that as many times as possible without losing the count. This is called diamond recitation. These is sometimes called miniature completion stage practice. Miniature completion stage practice. It's called diamond recitation. Very, very famous. Because this is taught in the Hevajra Tantra, and this Vajrapani is a Hevajra Tantra, you're allowed to do this. And so this diamond recitation is very, very powerful. And the mantra Hung Vajrape Om Bhutadamara Bhutadamara, if you say the Hung Vajrape 21 times, then their main mantra Hung Vajrape Om Bhutadamara also 21 times. It doesn't take very long. Just have to have the quality of attention and intention and retention of those. It's not the length of time you spend in a session. It's knowing why, what, how to do. That's why these teachings I regard very important, more important than just receiving empowerment after empowerment, deity after deity, without doing even one practice. That's not really correct method practice. If I am the advisor to people about spiritual practice, this I strongly recommend that don't just collect empowerments. You have more empowerment if you receive the teachings. It empowers your intellectual, emotional, language, and understanding. That power gives you more power than the ceremony empowerment. I'm not saying there is no blessing in empowerment. Of course, every Buddha's teaching has the blessings. It just boosts your confidence, your knowledge, your understanding of the truth. Of course, they're all empowerment, so to speak. But one shouldn't be too enchanted by ritualized ceremonies and not give credence to the teachings. So I like to see the Sakya Friends try to diversify its approach and try to... It's not so much the number of the students or participants. It's the quality that our Sakya friendship can actually promote. Even if it's a few number of practitioners, but those who we have actually know the ins and outs of the teachings, and they actually have directed their life accordingly because they know the teachings so well. Otherwise, it becomes very theistic, as you are receiving some blessings from empowerment only, and you are not doing understanding the teachings. So that's why it's important. I know that His Holiness Sakya Kongma teaching gave this empowerment sometime in the past, and no matter how few the people are attending these teachings, we should do a service so that our understanding of the teaching makes us not just a recipient of the teachings, but also practitioner of the teachings. And so to do the practice, you've got to know the teachings, know the structure, the meaning, symbolism, qualities, and most importantly, application. And so in order to have that, these teachings are very, very important. So that's why I want to explain the mantra recitation has verbal recitation and diamond recitation, and then followed by the diamond recitation is called miniature completion stage. Miniature completion stage practices. So once you finish that, then you can recite the Vajrasattva mantra 3 times, Shri Heruka Vajrasattva mantra 3 times, so that all the addition and deletion and distraction that may have occurred during the sadhana practice will be rectified and corrected by the Vajrasattva mantra recitation. And so after that, so if you then you go and do the prayer, following prayer. Oh, Shri Vajrapani. So here you are calling yourself Shri Vajrapani, because on top of your crown is a tiny Akshobhya Buddha. Akshobhya Buddha is Vajrapani. Vajrapani is Akshobhya. No difference. Please bless all living beings and myself. They're all obstacles and adverse conditions, such as mischief wrought from the above. Mischief wrought from the above refers to the extraterrestrial. People talk about planet, their star positions. Today is not a bad day. My star is there, and people are really, really superstitious. And some of them also seem to like that, because bad star affects you. So that's called mischief wrought from the above, means stars, planetary gods or deities or some beings up in the space. They're not necessarily good ones. They are just really vicious beings. So that refers to that. Mischief wrought from the above by malignant spirits, planets, and hermits. See, it says it. Spirit, planets. Of course, planet really doesn't really harm, but some people believe. Their superstitious belief says the planetary position can be in a wrong position and things are not really going to be auspicious because of the wrong planetary position and spirits and some hermits that has been bribed to curse over you by other people. Mischief wrought from the below. Mischief wrought from below means subterranean. Subterranean, this is real nagas. Below, malignant spirits, nagas, earth spirits. Earth spirits means the Prithvi Devi. So these are underground ones. So people who play in the water or who do a lot of things with the water have very vulnerable to be harmed by spirit beings in the underground world. Particularly water, if you dirty the water, if you throw dirty things in the water, and the pond, a lake, and so on. So even to take bath, to swim in the ocean is you are going in someone's backyard, and you're bearing yourself with a little andi and going in there. For them it's filthy, So basically we are upsetting. This kind of belief definitely exists. Some people, they wouldn't use the water to wash. They firstly thank the water god, and what they call the Varuna goddess of water. They take her permission so that you can use the water before you dip in. There are such beliefs in the old days, people have disregarded water. They have dirtied the water ponds, water holes, springs, and the lakes and rivers, throwing rubbish in them. This definitely upsets the spirit world, nagas and so on, tsans and a lot of what we may call I don't know the word here. Anyway, water-related spirits. Mystery wrought by malignant spirits, the middle sphere. Middle sphere refers to terrestrial. That means people. Kings. King spirits means authorities. people who are senior to you, people who are your peers and uncles and aunts, such X and Y and friends and so on, and they speak against you or malice against you or all these things. So all of those things, people are so unfair sometimes. Over small thing they make so much problem for you, and you are so disturbed by that, mischief by that, road from the demons, middle sphere, king spirits, denizens like may be allayed. Your praying may all such extraterrestrial, middle spheres, subterranean, may all of them be allayed, not even arise. That even that we may quickly attain the stage of King of Wrathful Ones, the subduer of demons. So this is really you're requesting the blessings of all the enlightened ones. So with this in mind, you have concluded the Vajrapani, but now you do the final part. The final part is the dissolution meditation. Dissolution meditation is very clearly written here. Light rays shine from the seed silver hung in your heart, causing light rays goes down, touch the lotus beneath your feet, the moon and the demon aparajita all dissolve into blue light, which absorb into yourself. So all your seeds, and include the demon, dissolve and absorb into you. And then the upper and lower parts of the body, your head and your legs, all dissolve simultaneously, absorb into the sun disk in your heart. Sun disk dissolve into the mantra rosary. The mantra rosary dissolve into the seed syllable hung. The lower part of the seed syllable hung dissolve into the upper bar. Upper bar. And upper bar dissolve into the crescent into the droplet into the taper dissolve unobjectifiably into emptiness and clear light. So you have I don't know whether the sadhana you have the sadhana that you have the showing the 5 parts of syllable hung or not. But I think we have given you the syllable hung inside your the handouts, syllable hung. But this syllable hung has 5 parts, as you can see. This syllable hung 5 parts. See the lower part of the ha itself, and then the top, the bar here, and then the crescent above here, and then the droplet, and then the tail, nada. So visualize the slow kind of dissolution, them in sequentially. You should do the visualization of dissolution very, very clearly. Doing the dissolution visualization is to overcome, not only to overcome, but to emulate the elegant way to dissolve and pass away into nirvana. So it is practice of the Dharmakaya, so that you are not afraid of death. You are actually rehearsing the inevitable dissolution, disintegration of your earth into the water, water into the fire, fire into the oxygen, air into the consciousness, consciousness into freedom from the mortal body. And like that, so your white element, the red element from the Father, and all of them slowly dissolves, and there's no heat, there's no oxygen, there's no temperature, no breathing, and you pass away. Enlightened ones do this elegant way of passing away parinirvana by showing lots of miracles and beautiful experiences and mystical experience of people to die. So instead of fearing death or denying death or desisting death or denying death, bargaining death, angry that you will die, angry that someone died in your life and you couldn't recover from that ever since. You lost such and such, and ever since that you're mourning. Because you're attached to something as if they are permanent, as if they should stay longer than they last, as like they should do this instead of that. This kind of going wrong direction. All the rivers flow downwards and drops into the ocean. you expect the river to reverse, go back to the snow peak mountain. It never will happen. So our life is heading for the inevitable death. So Buddha taught a great deal about the merit of meditating on death. In the conventional monastic meditation on death, they actually make you to meditate on the dead body, the carcass, the blue, the red, the smelly, the kind of torn apart body that has no eye there, but still some other parts. Those are the kind of monastic way of meditating. In Vajrayana, we don't do that. We ourselves meditate in form of a deity and then do this small, slow dissolution visualization. So this practice becomes a form of a kind of every dissolution visualization is a form of is a technique to overcome fear of death and also to actualize your ability to realize Dharmakaya. Dharmakaya is purifies fear of death, and Rupakaya purifies fear of rebirth. So with that, then we have concluded the Vajrapani sadhana and its teachings. All of you have taken great effort to receive the empowerment and to listen to these teachings last 2 nights. Now it's very important that you will learn to do the practices accordingly. So I'm asked to give the oral transmission of the sadhana. The idea is that not just receive another lung, another empowerment, but as a result of receiving the lung and the teaching, you should do the sadhanas. Anyway, so I will do the lung now. Namo Arya Kedan Lodan Jinga Chugunda Mia Gananda and Rockundana Jezava, Tamjeko, Dage, and the Bachana, the Modi Judo. Namonguru Banza, Lama Choedak and Garinjama, Yangoro, Yago, Chato Jaza, the way Yangarama, Yangan, the Yellow, the Jinelo, and Jetta, the Janima, and Ravachis, Sheraz and Namjata, the Jinelo, Sheraz and Yunus, the Bandit, the Gungazamolo, the Kunga. 연습 관계 발라지는 보다 생각하는 것보다 더벌을 저한테서 더 유진이랑 가지고 군가대 선내르지 야지그는 남자들은 군여서는 저한테서 더 유진이를 얘기하고 저래 남자들은 저승에서 그냥 더 지장은 되느냐로 저한테서 더 유진이를 간라고서로 이제서 잠근 투진 예군가의 가디님에서 라마 저한테서 더 유진이로 남가보다 선예보다 되는 거는 렌제 저저 남가진 저한테서 더 군가의 전성보다 너들랑 뭐지 얘기하다 지면 저한테서 더 유진이 되는 양보야 임신 유다죠 남아야 달아지는 자라마라서 저한테서 자유라면서 저는 예전에 봐지 몰라서 다연로 그이들 다게 못는 버지는 건데 주의다지 레전 송고로서 변동회계 전달래로 상하다고 nen저공라게 메다지 고조게면 맨날 주변에 섬님에 구해서 다게 되는 간야선야는 나서저한테거든요 순전대거든요 집에서 섬님에 송가서 다게 되는 저는 라나기 야단요도 마야 도저게면서 면면야 나상님에 도여서 다게 되는 저는 바다 섬지 저는저에다 송가는 냠다진je 바다가 동대바가 야내전내지달라로 너나 다길랭이 때문에 담제다 사다고 영어서도는 손조도지면 사도 예제 전전심에 소한데 바저도 소한데 유라만데나 좀 된데 바사다와 제난기 기바도모마인 도모마인베도 제조 기바데 예나 셰바데네 예담데라 메신 드블라 전전난 저 셰라반데 지구병어 반데 된저징어 에와 반데 전데자와 so that concludes the lineage guru prayer of the sadhana. And now the main sadhana is Namo Guru Varana Vardaya, Jumbuji Command, Jamlan, Dadananga, and Messenger, Georgia does me the Vogudan and then and Jibon, the Public and the Southern Jibba, Bandela Madame, and I mentioned the Public and I just Lama, the Number of Daza, and you can have you love the same gen. Same Jetamji, and Zovasani Commando at the edge of the church, a batch of the music of the Lama Jilens, and Rangato. Dalan and Consum Malazani, Zerge, and Raimo, Della, number Jumbo science, so Columbanza, Samanza, Sheve, General, Bhutadamara, Sabareva, Argam, Badi, Diva, Alonga, Benzagenda, Benza, Shada, Chebe, Conjugal, Regala, Science, also, Ranjin, and Jogos, and Sam Jantam Daga, Java and Labens, and Jelen, Zum, Josem Jantam, the other, the Donga, Donga, you don't maybe the other Mera, Shadan, you never. Seme Gom, Omashine, the Yenemedo Zomba, Jeju, the Nancy Condi, Mimi, Rain, Mimi, don't mind. Nazananga, you don't bang along, Jemami, only also Jevala, Doje Balap, Doje Potashi, Yeshev, another real Jew, Nazabamanda, Majev, in the high legion, the Jingo Tais, Hoye, Tina, also Jevala, Zeno, or running, also, they are longer tell us, Sem Tamjin, and the director to my aim. Jigatam Jan, turned to Dojon, they also Jevala Rani, Trojo. Channel the Bunjumbu, Shaji, Shashi, Chai, Down, Dojing, Randy, Machata, Umbe, the Zucha, and Doji Shavan, the Zajan, the Gunjumbu, the Shayan, the Shachi was in Jala, Mandum, Malan, the Jenson, Damit, the Mara, the Mimada, Urma, Jenbo, Tobacco, Monga, Lomanga, the Jamaji, and talk about Tangamo, the Shavia, Madame Jumbushi, Medova, Mixum, Malabashi, Damar, and Chigoyan, Toba, the Zizon, Zimba, Daba, Meji, and Jazz, Tuzu, she member when I shoot, but they draw him going to Maramo to a home. Only the river in true Ombojum was on years, Growan Benza, Samanza, Jen, and Buddha Sabari, Benzargam, the Bandam, the Bibam, and Duba, Benzalaga, Benzangan, and Benzan, Benza Shavda, Jevish, the Down, News, Lion took only the river, Rangaling, Benza Saman, the General Benzagula Sabari, Argama, Bandam, the Bibam, and Duba, Benzalogam, and Benza Shavda, Jevish, he was the Bongo, Zado, Jeda, Bazan, Lana General, like Junado, the agenda Savata, Gata, Sama, Jira, Joseph, Vijayan, Julamaya, Mijibu, Mingmeni, Virgin, and Zomani, Govaja, Tijan, Command, Young Jitation. Tip Jinjin and average Hevada, Zaja, Ning, and Jinji, Share, Home Benza, Virginia, the Kunala, and Shimabala, semi union to Della, and Deming, and Tukani making going home, the Angango, also you will remember as about the Refuge, China, Tamsin, Cows, and now Nerim, don't get check up, bottom, Metamima, and nobody saying Pabu Bogani, Round, Trojan bottom, ever to budget, Sarge, Sanchez, Joseph, Tamji, Tuja, Chalani, to Tamji. Jom den the good as number to the rank took a whole lot in your own better, but the number that they were arguing as around the brother Piers and other. Che and the Mengashan, the Dojin Division, and Turn Job and Tamaja, the Bachana, the Jumudi, similar thing to Sada, Chanson, over the on the Luda, Sada and Portland, Jumbo Jansi, Nova Lasso, and Gaji, Baja, she, Minjuba, the new the Trauma, Judy, the Montover, the Shen, the Verdanshi, Hanging on a surgery. Benda Juja, there was a number of you there on that temperature. Rani, you could the mood you took a hunting on the Hongila, the hungry shop, you call the Cobo, gold and go on that zillet. That's it, till it, Nadal and Nada, Mimic, but Zatomon, you take on and down, the day draw on Jumbo, Gavandi, and you the Razi Gamaliva, there, Zalango. Chair so young or the Molanda, the Rani, Cap Tamjo, Lua, Doja, Pora, Yanshin, Yajavan, Naji, never son, and end of Chin and the Archie, the Tun, some Jovanga, Tom, Boom, Cha, Chu, Dang, Angarian, Boom, Cha, Chu, Dao, Sheban, De. Dene Tamba Tamji Magic, Desum, you Chejung, and Yingbudun, Nyazala, there are some control 100 years, Jawa, and get a lot of never Dugan about Shindra, Rumbanas, Delegation, Gava, Rabdo, the Gerardo boy, did you go to Junior, the Avajala, over so that's conclude the oral transmission of the sadhana of Vajrapani Bhutadamara. That too is written by illustrious Ngorchen Kungazangbo. So when you finish that, after you do the dissolution, and then you reappear, imagine on your forehead is syllable Om, and your throat is syllable A, and heart is syllable Hung. So your post-meditation appear as a Vajra, one page, two-armed Vajrapani incognito. You should always think wherever you are dwelling as a Vajra palace, you should see everything as a pure, divine, transcendental wisdom manifestation. All your sound you hear a mantra, all your thoughts are illusion. And don't dwell on any thoughts, let alone objects of thoughts, as real or this or that. See them as all transitory, dependently originated and ever-changing things. Because of that, they are like illusion. For a few minutes, the illusion looks real, but after a while, there's no trace of it. Like that, all situations in life are like that, aren't they? And there are many things you have that they're no longer there. So why you wanted to think it was there? Because there's nothing lasts. So you're going to get something to not last, like pavlova or something, you can, for a few minutes there is there and then disappear. Everything is like that. So this is ultimate teaching. You should stay very present post-meditationally that all things are like illusion. This is meditation of meditation, So even you're not sitting down and doing some lengthy sadhana, but as long as you maintain these post-meditational right views, all appearance as deity, all sound as mantra, all thought is a illusion and constantly changing thing. And you should always remain very present. That is the Vajrapani application. You should see others as none other than Buddhas in the form of the Vajrapani. You have the pure perception. Because when you think positive things, you will see positive things. And so the whole idea of sadhana is to enable you to switch your mind on to be with your mind. And not to with things and illusions or stories or experiences as if you are either attached to them even though they have no trace of it, or your aversion to it as if that didn't go very well and you still think it's still happening to you now. They are not. They are all illusion. They all just disappear like a mirage. You don't go and try to drink a place where you saw a mirage a couple of hours ago. It might be just a sandy beach or just a dry, bleak land. There is no water there. It never will quench your thirst. So see them as illusion, and then you will not get attached to even good things. Let alone have aversion to the bad thing. How long is bad? Because even bad ones also disappears tracelessly. And that is real Vajrapani qualities. You have the mind in your hand, You have your mind in your hand, see all things as a reflection of your mind. If your mind is full of loving kindness, then you will see all sentient beings deserving loving kindness. When you have lots of fear and doubt, then you experience hostility coming from outside, even though they haven't got the slightest intent to do that. But we start projecting, we start seeing things. So our mind is quite capable of losing itself if we do not hold it and keep it firm. So that's why main practice of Vajrapani is power, is the symbol of the Buddha's power. Buddha has a power to govern one's mind. That is the real Buddha power. It's not some kind of Buddha power using for worldly mundane purposes to achieve this, to reach that, to become famous or to become materially successful. These are not power. Lots of people have incredible wealth and power, but for what? They have just as much suffering and negative karma behind that. So we are not talking about using Vajrapani to try to get some power to dominate over others. Not like that. With the Vajrapani is to conquer your inner demons, to subdue your unruliness of thoughts, of words and deeds and habits and perceptions. So with this, we have concluded the teaching on Vajrapani Bhutadamara. So thank you for having me and Sakya Friends and all the other everyone who have taken part in being with us. I will do a short dedication in Tibetan from this very text. We are seeing our world going through very tough times, and we're all worried about our poor world. I'm sure you will share. this short prayer here. Gedan lagban jamba zon dugan deje bawa je shindu deve joze marum banam sarju jo tele jungwe gewa ye doje radum bawa digi jingo gunjunen dewa jala rawa jo gere donda jeje jewa minden nebe jendan rawa dan deban rojan bulon zo traje de jan dindre dele jo shija zaje nedan rengon dan gere jenden den janga le zogela bade jewa yin jungbo neva jiwon ze dozo ganda dondan za yun jiba dan jeten dodan doze me Medam mema inje nabana nyeza damje shevran zedo zo lobo yendo do damas tudan jada gazo majadan gandan nyamre badam jima damje jawan zedo zo je zobe janju jwala jedan nange zaya bardo jabadan nyewa shevran zedo zo janju semjaran boje maje banam jejuro jeje banyambam Gone gonde bewarajo. Thank you, everyone. So there we conclude. I'd like to rejoice all of your good effort. Thank you for our fellow translators for giving your time and doing these services for the benefit of all our friends. May you be all physically well, mentally very sane, emotionally very kind, and become very still and focus and do one thing at a time. Don't try to do many things. Just do one at a time and mindfully. Then you don't have to double up the effort. Don't overplan things. Things may not happen. Do what are reasonably possible to do, and do with a lot of humility and grace and acceptance. And then we will be benefiting other people. But we try to do so much on top of one another, planning too many things, one top of another, it can be very stressful. And then you can't do the many things you want to do, and then you all of a sudden redo and something, try to make up for it. It can be very stressful. So don't bring those demons of over-application. Do reasonable, moderate amount of time just for yourself and others. I know the translators have been very, very, very cooperative. Sakya Friends can do this as much as it has, but don't try to do too many empowerments after empowerments without supporting teachings. This is my advice, because I live in the West 30 years. I hardly do empowerments more than once or twice or maybe 3 times a year. I may be busy doing teachings almost every weekend. But the empowerment I do are very rare. Why? Because I find giving the basic teachings of the Dharma to the people far more. While the number who come may be fewer, I don't see the empowerment brings more people. Because I'm not a high lama or people with big titles and that sort of thing. Tibetan Buddhism is often lost in that kind of thing. But remember, Buddhism now come to the 21st century. We have to tailor the teaching where our people need the Dharma. We shouldn't be too mystified by the names, status, and blessings and all that. Real blessings is being able to understand our mind. And the teachings of the Buddha. Buddha knew everything, And our Theravadan and other Buddhists don't even believe Buddha ever taught about Tantra or empowerment. And majority of Buddhists are not Vajrayanis. They are Theravada. Look at the countries which are Buddhist. They are Sri Lankan, they are Burmese, they are Thai, they are Cambodia, Laos. Those are very strong Buddhist community for thousands of years. They have stayed that way. And we Vajrayana have no no special qualities if we do not adhere to the basic fundamental teachings of the Buddha. So promoting the fundamental teachings of mindfulness, kindness, right view, compassion through meditation is very, very important. And sure, there will be small number of people who will have karmic, I would say, fitness to appreciate Vajrayana. But remember, if when you receive empowerment, you need to know the sadhana, and then you meant to sit down and do the sadhana. If you do that, one sadhana is mostly adequately able to teach you what constitute Vajrayana's unique features. Like I was saying, the Vajrayana is a skillful visual dharma and symbolism and a color and a form and a mantra and a mudra, dhyana. But basically, it's the same teaching of kindness, renunciation, bodhicitta, and right view. These are the fundamental teachings it is tried to. It has no separate aims and objectives. Its intention is maya and is bodhicitta. Only methods of meditation is different. For instance, instead of meditating oneself in bringing a graveyard, seeing all these dead bodies surrounding you, and then try to develop a strong sense of renunciation as a monastic meditation, Buddhist teaches. Vajrayana teaches that your body is covered with snakes, and your neck is wearing a garland of blood dripping heads. So it is teaching on a many different symbolic level, on that level. But its actual purpose is the same thing: to renounce self-grasping, to renounce the wrong views and affliction, which are the true origin of suffering. Nobody wants suffering, but if they don't know the origin and the correct one, they do not know how to destroy and uproot it. So Vajrayana is a skillful way, and those of us who have some connection with the Vajrayana needs to qualify our practices, not increase the quantities of empowerments, but boost the understanding of few sadhanas that we do, and then have this incredible appreciation of all other deities and so on. Never mind different lineages, different traditions. They're all Indian. They're not Tibetan. They're not Sakya. There's not Kagyu. There's not Nyingma. There's not Gelug. These are all Indian. All the sadhanas came from India. Like if you look at the lineage gurus, the first Tibetan is a Parilotsawa. Parilotsawa received this sadhana from Amoghavajra. Yeah? So Amoghavajra received it from a few Indian teachers, because Tibetans don't keep a long list of Indians because they can't remember them all. If they have 3 or 4 before the first Tibetan, that's pretty impressive. Like the Kagyupas, if they can go as far as Tilopa, they think it's pretty contented. and they think Tilopa got straight from Vajradhara or something. Likewise, Sakyapas thinks if they could go as far as Virupa, they think that's pretty impressive. And Nyingma passes as far as Padmasambhava. You look first, it's even more later. If they can go as far as Atisha, they think that's enough. If you really go and come on, can we go and retrace the lineage before Atisha and go back? They say, we went to Sumatra or somewhere. He went to Indonesia to get the teachings. Tibetan thinks the teaching came from India, and Indian thinks teaching came from Sumatra. So this way of tracing the teaching shows how short a memory we have kept the lineage. We only tend to remember the people that we think we like to know that belongs to our race. So maybe there are 30 names in Sakya or Kagyu or Nyingma lineage gurus, but Indians start with maybe Naropa or Metripa and then Tilopa. That's it. That's enough, But they think Tilopa is a superhuman. He doesn't have to have his own teacher and so on and so forth, all these Buddhist lineages in Tibetan Buddhism, they're all Indian, you know. So there is no really case for fragmentation into lineages. When you understand true deity yoga, is to nullify the deity, nullify the borders. We need to bring down all the borders. We don't build anyone. We just need to demolish all the borders of egoism and us and that versus them. So because Tibet is such a country that is situated far away into the Himalayas, very geographically very isolated. So people in Tibet was even more isolated from each other. Anybody who's on the other side of the river is the other lineage. That kind of attitude. But today we are in the 21st century. We are outside those Himalayan gorges. We are in the international cities, and so we need to universalize the Dharma as timeless, as a wisdom teaching that respect no bounds of space, time, and knowledge. We need to universalize these teachings as timeless teachings of the Buddha, Shakyamuni, not give credit to particular one or two lineages in particular, but to one and only Buddha lineage. So we have come to this 21st century where we have to learn to rejoice the overall universal brotherhood and sisterhood of Dharma, not let the Dharma to be fragmented in the name of lineages and tradition, particularly when the whole teaching is about realizing selflessness and bodhicitta. The core principle of the deity yoga is the wisdom of discerning emptiness of self. And so the Tibetanness or lineageness has to dissolve with that. Selflessness of phenomena of lineages, traditions, ethnicities. We need to appreciate the overall the umbrella of the Dharma, the cool shade of which whoever gets to rejoice in them can have the heat of suffering reduced dramatically. So Vajrapani Bhutadamara is Buddha, is enlightened mind. It's not some kind of monolithic deity from Kashmir or from India that came to save Tibetans, okay? It never did. It's not a monolithic external deity. It is the wisdom of emptiness that is so powerful. Buddha of power is the mind that understands emptiness and then have great compassion to show the compassion to those who are not able to understand this, and then caught up in this us versus them, like the fightings in the Middle East and every trouble spots in the world are all caused by division and fragmentation. May the power of Vajrapani and knowledge that we have exposed to have the power not to divide, not to one from the other, but we become all one, like Vajra in your hand. When you understand your mind, you don't create any boundaries. You break the boundaries. You hurl your Vajra to break the boundaries of us versus them. But we are all within the protective dome, Vajra dome of Buddha Dharma, the refuge in which we have enjoyed the cool shade so that we don't suffer the scorching sun of divisiveness. We need to be unified. And particularly those of you, I wouldn't be surprised if you have been exposed to different other Tibetan lineages, and you should rejoice all of that, diverse sorts of lineages, and see them all as the Buddha lineages, and therefore any lineages, whatever you have, they are all Buddha lineages, and we should develop pure perception and respect others, and not become attached to ours, so to speak, because we are all part of the whole one world, for the benefit of whom that these teachings of the Buddha is the panacea that we want to propagate. Thank you very much. So I don't know where that comment came from. I thought we finished the teaching a while ago, but nevertheless we had a bit of time. So thank you very much, everyone. Thank you.